it's amazing how often, to me, and I think to anybody that really analyzes these things, and I realize you guys probably don't go about analyzing gospels and this kind of stuff, but think about this for a minute. How many of us that have been taught this over and over and over still get tied up thinking that sin has something to do with salvation? And what I mean by that is thinking that somehow to be saved, you gotta quit some level of sin, right? And how many of you, don't raise your hands, okay? I don't want to get anybody in trouble. But in your heart of hearts, how many of you believe that every time you sin, you have to confess? Yeah. All right. Well, we're gonna fix that. Don't get mad with me now. All right. Don't get mad with me. But that's out there for sure. And it's evidence that the church really hasn't accepted the gospel. Now, I know some of you believe that right now. Don't get mad at me. Just give me a chance. All right. But that's evident because and I'm going to tell you, that's what most Christians believe, by the way. If you were to ask them, they would say, "Oh yeah, you got to quit sinning, and you got to every time you sin, you better confess, or right?" That's what most of them believe. But that's evidence that even now the church has not received this beautiful gift from God called salvation. Because look, if you got to do something to lessen your sin, if you have to, I'm not saying we shouldn't. Don't get me wrong now. Don't mishear me. We need to be working on that. Amen. It's not okay for a Christian to go around sinning, right? It should be under our feet. And if it's not, we should be working on putting it under our feet. Amen. But I want to give you a little clue here. God's not doing it. God's not working on your sin. You are. If he was working on it, there wouldn't be any. I mean, think about it. You think he's failing? No, he left it up to you. Right? I mean, if you hadn't come to that conclusion, come to it now. Think it through. If salvation depended on your ability to totally stop sinning, nobody'd be saved, because that's why Jesus came in the first place, because nobody could save themselves. The law, if you think about the law, the rules that you have to follow, thou shalt nots, right? And the thou shalts. If you could follow them, you wouldn't need Christ. So then how can you have Christ and still need to follow them? If he's saving you from them.